video demo of Power the Game, a moving tutorial, and I'm here with PK Toretto, the game's inventor. Hey PK.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
I'm doing great, and look forward, we're going to walk you through basically how to play the game, and I'm going to kind of narrate this, but feel free to jump in whenever there's something you want to explain or if I did something incorrectly.
Absolutely.
Alright, here we go. So there's basically four parts to this tutorial. There's the setup, first turn, the example of a turn, and how to win a game. And we'll be following the manual and quick start guide. So step one is the setup, and so this is the quick start guide that we'll be referencing.
You'll find that in the instructions.
And so we start by lining up the 8 reference cards, Ref 1 through Ref 8, and the Air C lane.
The Air C lane will be used in future expansion packs, but for this US core packs, you can line up the reference cards just to map out what you need for the table in terms of length and width.
And so the cards kind of act as like the board itself if you don't have the mats, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, it says C 2.0. And so there are 3 distinct zones of play: the battlefield, the build queue or BQ, the Air C lane, and each square can fit a card both vertically as well as turned horizontally. And the high quality mats are available online, but you don't need them necessarily to play the game. So you have the battlefield, which is this area here.
That's the 4x8 grid.
Okay. The build queue, which is kind of where you stack up your cards.
It's like an assembly line.
Okay. And we'll get to that obviously later. The headquarters row.
And it's very important to know that in the headquarters row, you can always resupply all of your cards. We'll get to the supply later.
Okay, and resupply means like your unit can shoot again.
Absolutely. Once you shoot, you need to be supplied again because you're out of ammo.
Gotcha.
So you supply to get more ammo. And you can always do that in the headquarters row.
Okay. And then there's the Air C lane.
Again, that's for the expansion packs, but the high quality mats have that included.
So you don't need the Air C lane for the basic demo that we'll be showing today, but it means something
Correct.
later on.
Absolutely.
Okay. So these are the battle mats you can use to help play the game. Again,
and everything is in America made. These are made out of Alaska. Imagine a very, very big mouse pad. Rolls up very nicely, can be washed. Very proud of those.
Yeah, so basically it allows you not to have to worry about where to put everything because it kind of does everything for you, right?
In terms of placement of the cards,
right.
Yes. And the other side of it, though, if you don't use the mats, it's very cool. Someone will walk by and you'll see all these cards on a certain grid without those mats, and it's like, hey, what does that matter that card's there or that card's there? It's really cool. So with or without, we wanted to make sure that it was very portable. You don't need the mats to play, though the high-end gamers are definitely going to want to have them. They're very slick.
Gotcha. Awesome. So you don't have to use the mats, but they help. So the first step is, let me go back here. You line up the 8 reference cards, which is going to be the C lane, the Air C lane?
Yes.
Okay, so, and they're all marked out here?
Yes, Ref 1 through Ref 8. And again, when we wanted it to be portable, you actually don't need to carry the instructions with you. These are concise instructions placed on 8 cards.
Gotcha. And then you line these up, Ref 1 through Ref 8. They're all like marked there, and then you just put them in this Air C lane right here.
Absolutely. And if you didn't have the mat, of course, you'd just be lining them up on a table so you know the length of the battlefield.
Okay. Alright, and then it says find 5 game rank cards with the black borders and red title bars.
Yes, these aren't unit cards, but they're actually game formats. We don't like to say scenarios because it's not a historical reenactment. We didn't want to make the 85th Battle of the Bulge. It's sort of an RPG aspect. As you level up, you go from private to corporal to sergeant, etc. And they're just different game formats. In the first 3, we have pre-designed decks. We'll get to that in a second. But as a deck building game, we just wanted to give the beginners a certain set of comparable 8 packs.
Okay, so this like private game is maybe the easiest game to start.
That's where you start.
Okay. So this is the one we'll be doing for the tutorial, which is the private one. And as you can see, the quick start guide's on the right, and all the instructions from the quick start guide can also be found on the actual private card, so it's easy for you to reference whenever you need to. So it says sort the 48 gameplay cards into 6 piles of 8 cards by identifier, C 1.3. And so these are the identifier marks to assist the players in learning the game. The 48 gameplay cards are divided into 6 pre-built packs of 8 cards each. These unit-themed decks are used in private corporal sergeant rank games and designed to show the pros and cons of each unit type. Each card has a colored identifier in the bottom right corner, as we'll show here. So basically, you just match the colors of the cards, and that'll form your pack, right?
Absolutely, and that would be 8 cards per pack, and there's 6 different colors, so you're going to have 6 piles of 8 cards.
So we take like all the cards to get into these piles, and they would be the infantry, supply, tanks, artillery, close air support, and defense.
And I want to point out that the artillery has a little black dot in it. When we did the color wheel, the artillery and close air support were looking sort of close, so there's a little tiny black dot in the artillery, so it's easy to discern which one's artillery and which one's close air support or helicopters.
Okay, cool, gotcha. All right, so each player picks one of these 8-card build piles. If you both want the same pile, you would just flip a coin to decide who gets it.
That's not in the instructions, but yeah, we wanted to add it here just in case they both want to play helicopters. You could fight for it with 2 other decks, and whoever wins plays helicopters, but flip a coin, decide, just keep on playing.
So the only battling will be in the card game and not in physical real life.
That's correct, okay. Yes.
So
physical contact.
Exactly. So there you have it. You have each player choosing their pack of what we're going to do for this example. And each player fills their own BQ, build queue, face down, C4.3. So regardless of the game rank chosen, setup is the same. First, players shuffle each other's packs. Next, each player deals their own pack face down into the build queue from top to bottom. First BQ4, then BQ3, BQ2, BQ1. This is going to sound confusing, but you'll explain in a second.
Yep.
And this is repeated until all cards are dealt. And there should be an even number of cards in each BQ pile, all oriented vertically. All right, so let's get to this.
So you give your pack to your opponent to shuffle, and then you return it and don't look at it.
Okay, so face down.
Yep, face down, you don't look at it. It's returned to you, so you don't know the order of it.
Okay.
And from then, you take your top card, you put it into BQ4, which is the farthest away from you for each player.
Gotcha.
Then to 3, then to 2, then to 1, and then you repeat it. Now, this is only an 8-pack game. There's only 8 cards per pack. And higher levels, when you start talking about admirals or captain rank games in the expansion pack, you may have 20 cards or 16 cards. So we wanted to make sure that it was always even. So right now, there's 2 cards in each build queue pile, but it could be 3 cards, 4 cards, or 5 cards in every BQ pile.
Okay, got it.
In the future.